Yes, sir. What's cracking, YouTube? I go by the name Anthony Spritz, and we are officially back with another full-length discussion video. This one's going to be very special. I got my YouTube hat on. I got my YouTube voice on. I'm taking the YouTube hat off and putting the wizard cap on. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm putting that wizard cap on because today we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Now, at the time of this recording, I know I'm a little bit late to the game. My back catalog for games is crazy right now, and of course, you know, your boy plays way too many of those, so this is long overdue. Shout out to the homie that requested this personally. So we're gonna jump right into it and find out if Hogwarts Legacy really got that magic stick. Without further ado, and let's get it.
Hey! Oh man, hold on. Can we get a moment of silence?
Yes, sir. Okay, so this is how we're gonna kick this off. I'm gonna start off with the dislikes, because the good news is the game is fantastic. It hits for the most part, so it's not very many dislikes, and I might be even nitpicking just a little bit, but you know how we rocking. Gotta tell y'all to dislike some of the things that got in the way during my gameplay, during my playthrough. You feel me? So getting started, there is a bit of button delay during combat. Combat is it's very easy to grasp. It's a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be, but where you're using combat, you're usually hitting more than one button. Sometimes that gets in the way as far as like button delay. So when you're hitting one button and you're hitting the other button, sometimes it doesn't register as quickly, or it doesn't feel like it registers in the right ways. If that makes any sense. Again, sticking with that theme, sometimes the camera get a little bit wonky when everything's getting all actiony, when it's getting all AAA game fucking actiony explosions and many different enemies in front of you, the whole 9 yards. When everything is operating on full cylinders, sometimes that camera is not keeping up. So everything that I'm describing here is really not bad. It didn't take away from the experience at all. It's just like some food for thought, so take it with a grain of salt. Bars, by the way. Moving on. When you're getting into the game, right, and you're starting to do some of the missions and stuff like that, for the most part, I really like the structure of, okay, you can do the main missions and the side missions are there if you want extra stuff, level up if it's an RPG, which this is. But in Hogwarts Legacy, some of the side content has to be finished before you can move on to the main stories. And of course, that's not a big deal breaker for me, but if you're a casual gamer or somebody who is a fan of just getting through the main mission and doing the side missions later, it could be a little annoying. So some of the side missions are like collectathons. You're collecting this, you're collecting that, you're doing this combat challenge, you're doing that combat challenge, and it's a list of things, and it could be kind of annoying. Okay, one of the ones that I found too is like, man, stuff is too expensive in this game. Why am I such a broke boy? Maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know, man. I'm such a broke boy in this game. When you actually have to go buy stuff and get the gold, I feel like I just gotta hustle and scrounge up for change because I'm such a broke boy all the time. And I haven't tested this extensively. Let me know if y'all want me to, but I was so broke. It's like real life. Like, I'm just trying to escape, I'm just trying to play my video game. I don't need to be reminded that I'm poor in the game. But anyway, some of the other things are like shallow NPC immersion. And now when I say that, it's just like sometimes your character isn't recognized when you're walking around. They don't really acknowledge you that much, so as opposed to something like Red Dead Redemption 2, if you know what I'm talking about, but again, nothing that hinders the game in any significant way. So take that all with a grain of salt. The gear slots. So you have gear slots to gear all your clothes that have like armor stats and stuff on it. And I just felt like a lot of the gear slots, even after all the upgrades, I felt like I didn't have enough. But that, again, just me. And there was one particular place in the game where it sent me through, and it was like the foresty area, and I was under leveled, so I had to basically just cheese it and run through. But I don't know if that was just me and the way that I was playing the game, or the game wanted to kind of like show you that area and tell you come back later. I don't know, but that's where it ends for the dislikes. So now we're gonna move into the meat and potatoes of the game. So now we're gonna be really just talking about the game as a whole. Like I said in the beginning, this game was a very pleasant surprise. Passion project, completely smacked. Um, just a kind of a warning, kind of a disclaimer, of course, no spoilers, no spoiler gang over here, but I'm not going to be going too in depth on one subject while talking about the game. So if you felt like I didn't go into any detail about something, or you want more detail about some of the stuff that I'm talking about during the game, just let me know, leave a comment down below. I might be able to get that to you. But that being said, the game set you out in like the late 1800s, so way before the Harry Potter movies and stuff like that. And you create your character. Now the created character isn't too deep, but it's just deep enough. There's options there, and they even got some hair for certain games be messing up the black hair, but that's another topic for another time. They got some decent options, is what I'm trying to say. So you get in there, you create your character, and of course it goes 0 to 100 in true action RPG fashion. You're even attacked by a dragon. It sets up the story for you. And after all of the hoopla, you're introduced to the gameplay and stuff like that. Then you arrive late at the little hat sorting in true anime fashion, and get to answer a couple questions to pick your house. I wish it would have asked me at least a couple more questions to pick my house, but just in case y'all were wondering, your boy is Hufflepuff gang, so you already know. Um, yeah, so you get in there, you pick your house, and it just introduces you to the world in a very straightforward fashion, which I was very much a fan of. You get there, you get introduced to the people in your house, some of the other students and stuff like that, and then you can just start your journey. It gives you your classes. You get these kind of intimate moments where you get to get your own wand and customize it, and you get introduced and you get put into the world, and it feels organic. So I really enjoyed that. Now this game is massive. The game is pretty huge. It's pretty big. Like, you have the actual Hogwarts school, then you have like the wooded area, and like the certain towns you can go to, and this game is pretty big. So that was pretty cool. As far as the way it ran, I never ran into any hiccups as far as like system stuff. No real pop in. Some load times were it wasn't too bad. It was maybe like a second or two, but other than that, the game is just solid, man. It's from front to back, it's solid. It's got crazy amounts of content. I think I finished it around 30 plus hours, and that was me not rushing, but I was moving kind of fast, as opposed to the homie who probably spent way more. Um and yeah, it was a delight. It was the exploration, the world, everything is thought out. There's definitely references to the Harry Potter lore, and the books and stuff like that. There's an amazing amount of like animation and just like stuff that you can discover. You're walking around, there's suits of armor like fighting each other, and ghosts, and things that kind of reminded me of like older Harry Potter games, or the actual movies, books. So you can definitely see the effort the team put in, and it was a good time. Voice acting is decent. The voice acting is pretty decent. um I didn't notice anything like too crazy. I will say that there is this one like cop lady, and she is low key worthless. I'll put her in the video somewhere, like, so y'all see what I'm talking about. But I felt like she's worthless. Let me know if y'all think I'm tripping or not. But I felt like she didn't really do too much in the game. But that's neither here nor there. The puzzles were actually really cool. They were really smart in the way that they used the actual magic to set up a lot of the puzzles. So it made me feel like a smarty pants when I was out here solving these puzzles, man. I was out here hitting my little wand bop, and solving the puzzles. So that shit that was clean. Trying to, I got my notes here and stuff, so I'm gonna see what else I can say about the game. All right, so some of the stuff that I didn't really mention in the last section. The side missions, besides the collectathons and stuff, like I said in the dislikes part, there are very interesting side missions you can take on that involve the world, that involve the characters in the actual school, like some of your companions and stuff like that that you get to interact with at the school. And they're actually pretty deep, you know. They're alternate, you know, like B storylines that I actually really enjoyed, with all the characters that you get to interact with. Um, but yeah, that shit was cool. Shit, I'm a very big fan of like RPGs introducing friendship systems, and like there wasn't any love interest stuff, but you know that would have been cool too. But the depth with the side characters was actually really cool because you get to you know, do these missions and then you get to see their whole little storyline. So I hope they continue to do this and maybe even double down on it. But that was cool as hell. After you finish the game, there's actually more to do. I know that they're constantly rolling out a bunch of updates and stuff like that, so you have way more to do after you finish the game because you're trying to master the spells you get. And it introduces a lot of like newer stuff as soon as you finish the game. So when you finish the game, you're not really finished with the game because you get to, you know, it extends your playtime and it's natural. It doesn't feel forced or anything like that. Yeah, there's interesting mechanics in the game, like you can make your own potions, plants, animals, a lot of animals in the game, a lot of magical creatures in the game you can interact with, and it even helps you like upgrade and stuff like that when you're making upgrades for your clothes. And speaking of clothes, you know, the 1800 drippage is in this game, and yes, you might be running around looking like a mix between a Hogwarts student and a 1800s pimp. But they do got transmog system, which is like you can customize how you want your gear to look and not mess with the stats. So this game has a surprising amount of like depth and just effort. You know, it looks, you could tell that the people who made it are really just fans of the IP, and they just put their heart and soul into it. So it was refreshing to see a game like this. And even for somebody like me who plays a lot of video games and might be a little bit snobbish and have my nose up in the air at certain mechanics and things like that, it drew me in. Played over 30 hours, like I previously stated, and I wouldn't mind going back. And shit, y'all let me know what y'all think. Maybe I'm tripping, but yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, man. All right, so to wrap things up, Hogwarts Legacy definitely has that magic stick, you feel me? And it's just a good time. So for anybody that's a fan of Harry Potter in any way, shape, form, or capacity, this is like a must play. The game is fantastic, great story, great systems, and it's just a good time. And for anybody that's just like maybe not as big a fan of Harry Potter, or just a fan of like adventure games or just RPGs in general, then yeah, I think you should try it. You know, this game definitely didn't disappoint. Paid full price, and it was worth it. You know, I feel like I got my money's worth. But that's me just doing a lot of talking. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Am I tripping? Am I not? Let me know what you loved about Hogwarts Legacy, what you didn't. And you know, thanks for checking your boy out. I got a ton more content coming on the way, so you know, stay tuned. And just like that, gone.